Hare Krishna. Thank you for taking out your time on Sunday morning for going ahead with our session for the day. So let us seek blessings and mercy of Shri Radha Govinda and our Guru Parampara. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadadi Swapadantika. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Sajivam Advaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalitam Shri Vishakamitam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्णा। Hare Krishna, can I get one Hare Krishna from all?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. So, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We are continuing a very important session, chapter in the opulences of the Supreme Lord. And just a quick recap from yesterday. What are the important points we discussed? So somebody wish to chat?
Shall I, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Actually, Prabhuji, we have discussed regarding Krishna's original position and Chaturthi slokas and Arjuna's accepting his request. When it comes to the original position, he is the cause of everything. And when it comes to Chaturthi slokas, it is described as summary of 10th chapter. And moreover, we need to use our senses properly. Senses in the sense we need to use ears, tongue, fixing into the picture of consciousness. So this is the recap, and anyone can add.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anybody wish to add? So we started our session yesterday knowing Krishna is the cause of all causes, including the demigods are all originating from Krishna. And then Chatur Shloka is very, very important. This is said as the summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. In Chatur Shloka, he started, the Shloka 8 started with saying Krishna declaring, I am the supreme, I am the source of everything. Aham sarvasva prabhu. So as we have seen, we have heard with from various devotees, when we see other religion, somebody is the messenger of God. Here in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, I am the God. And Shloka 9, it says, symptoms of pure devotee is given in this, Mad Gata Prana. And then shloka 10. Isam satata yuktanam. Krishna gives intelligence for such devotees to constantly engage his mind at the lotus feet of Krishna. And last fourth shloka, Isam evanu kampartam. This is by the causeless mercy of Krishna, he removes ignorance. So we have discussed that with our endeavors, definitely we cannot progress. So we continue to entangle within this material Maya and our mental speculations. Only by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, and by taking the shelter of Guru Parampara, Dviti Paripatena, Prashnena Seveya, Updeshante Te Jnanam, Jnaninas Tattva Darshinaha. So, one is Evam Paramparam Praptim. So, following the disciplic succession and taking the shelter of Guru. Guru coming in the disciplic succession starting from Krishna. So, through this process, we can remove our ignorance and get the knowledge of the absolute truth. So this is what we learn. And knowing all these shloka, Arjuna surrenders by saying, Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavam Pusham Satatam Divyam Adi Devam Ajam Vibhu Austvam Rasya Sarve Devarsir Narada Tata Sito Devalo Vyasa Vayam Chaiva Bravisime. So the meaning is Krishna is the Param Brahma and Param Dhamma, the supreme Brahman, supreme board onto which all the universe is resting. And not only Arjuna is declaring this, even great acharyas like Narada and Vyasadeva, such great acharyas have already declared this and taken shelter of the Supreme Lord. So for us to progress in our bhakti, we also should follow the footstep of Arjuna as well as our Guru Acharyas. So this is what we learned yesterday. Let us now move further with a very beautiful shloka. Somebody can take up.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. May I go ahead?
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Swayam evatmanatmanam veta tvam purushottama bhuta bhavana bhuteshu deva deva jagatpate. Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own potencies, O origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, O Supreme Person, Lord of the universe. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. This is a very, very important shloka. As we have discussed before, the Supreme Lord can be realized in three aspects. So what are the three aspects? Somebody recollect? Three aspects of Krishna through which we can realize the Supreme Lord.
Shraddha Sadhu Sanghas, is that the one, Prabhuji?
Shraddha Sadhu Sangha, that is the stages of bhakti. Three ways, three features we can realize God is Brahman, Paramatma, and the Supreme Satchidananda Vigraha form. Right? So, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, 7 sloka, a beautiful sloka which says, Vadanti tat tattvavidas, tatvam yajnanam advayam, brahmeti paramameti bhagwan iti sabhyathe. So it says, the supreme truth, the supreme Lord is realized in three aspects, as impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and at the last stage, one will rise to realize the Supreme Lord as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. This sloka is very important. Arjuna is saying, Swayam evatmanatmanam veta tvam purushottama bhuta bhavana bhuteshu deva deva jagatte. So this, any liberated person says cannot understand Krishna as the Purushottama. So he is the Purushottama, the supreme of all the living entities. So that is the reason Arjuna is mentioning Krishna as Purushottama. Yet somebody can understand that Krishna may be a Purushottama, but he may not understand Krishna is the father of all the living entities. Aham Sarvasva Prabho, he has said, and Krishna is the seed-giving father of all the living entities. To make this point very clear, Arjuna says this shloka as Bhuta Bhavana. So he is the father of all the living entities. Still, some may not understand Krishna is the controller of everything. And for that reason, Arjuna says Krishna as Bhutesha, supreme controller of everything. And further it says that some may not understand Krishna as the origin of everything, including the demigod. That is the reason Arjuna says you are the Deva Deva, the supreme lord of all demigods, worshipable god of all the demigods. And still, somebody may not understand Krishna to be the supreme proprietor. And that is the reason Arjuna says you are the Jagatpate. Yeah, such a beautiful shloka which gives complete what Krishna is. Thus the truth about Krishna is established in this verse by the realization of Arjuna. And we should also follow the footstep of Arjuna and understand Krishna in this way. So what do we understand from this shloka? That Krishna is the Purushottama, father of all living entities. Krishna is the supreme controller. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, God of all the demigods. Krishna is the supreme proprietor and supreme enjoyer. So we have learned in Sloka 5.29. Taram yagna tapasam sarva loka maheshwaram suhurtam sarva bhutanam yatvamam shantim rachati. So Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. Sarva loka maheshwaram, he is the supreme personality of Godhead. And suhurdam sarva bhutanam, he is the dear friend of all the living entities. So this way we need to meditate on Supreme Lord. So chapter 9 ended by saying fix our mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. And how do we fix? So these are all the opulences being very nicely mentioned in this chapter. So let's move further. Somebody not comfortable reading Lokas can pick up this opportunity. Because Lokas, you will get your hands. Somebody who is not comfortable can read this, take up this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Bhagavad Gita 10.6. Please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade in all these worlds. 10.17. How shall I meditate on you? In what various ways are you to be contemplated, O blessed Lord? 10.18. Tell me again in detail, O Janardana Krishna, of your mighty potencies and glories, for I never tire of hearing your ambrosial words. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So knowing all these things, Arjuna has already surrendered Krishna that you are the supreme personality of Godhead. So in this verse also it clearly shows that Arjuna is completely satisfied and in his understanding that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and that how he could understand is purely by the special mercy of Krishna. And however, Arjuna is asking more. How should I meditate on you? What various forms are you contemplated, O blessed Lord? So Arjuna is asking this not because Arjuna want to know, but for the benefit of all the living entities, for the common people like us. Arjuna is asking. Also here, we understand, tell me again in detail. Krishna's pastimes are not like mundane material stories. more we listen, more we want to hear, more we want to understand Krishna. There are devotees who have studied Bhagavad Gita more than 100 times. This is not an ordinary book. It is revealed scriptures. It is literary incarnation of the Supreme Lord himself. Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, it's not an ordinary book. It is the literary incarnation of the Supreme Lord. More you read, more Bhagavad Gita, the literatures, the scriptures interact with us. Is the importance of reading Srila Prabhupada books. Srila Prabhupada books, as it said, we feel so unfortunate not to have the direct association of Srila Prabhupada. But Prabhupada says, when a reporter asked Prabhupada, what will happen to this movement after you leave? Prabhupada says, will never leave, will never die. I live through these books. So all of you who want to associate with Srila Prabhupada, continue to get guidance from Prabhupada. You all have to take up Prabhupada books, start with small books, gradually move on. So yesterday Anirudh was asking, there are various scriptures. Why so many scriptures? As we discussed, we all gradually rise in our spiritual consciousness, knowledge and understanding by reading various scriptures. So Bhagavad Gita, which is the summary of all the Vedas, is known as graduate study. We are all studying for graduation. And Srimad Bhagavatam, it is known as the post-graduation study. So in Bhagavad Gita, we get the understanding of who the Supreme Lord is. What is my constitutional position? What is my purpose of my life? Understanding my purpose of my life, that to serve the Supreme Lord, go back to the Supreme Lord. Also talks about the Videya, the process, how I need to go back to Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam gives the life of Krishna. What is Krishna? How Krishna lived all his life. So knowing that, we increase our faith, conviction and determination. Knowing the supreme pastimes of Krishna, we also is in our the bhava and the love, go back to Krishna and be part of that eternal pastimes. The Chaitanya Charitamritham is considered as the PhD. So it's very important. We all have to gradually rise from level 2 to level 3, Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava. So determination and the consistency, the sincerity, seriousness by our action is very important in our progress Krishna consciousness. We'll move to other things. So here again the same thing. It is said that what is the advantage of hearing the Krishna's pastime? It helps us to improve our remembrance. Yes, Maranam. Maranam is also one of the devotional service. And when we leave this body, we need to remember Krishna. How do we remember Krishna? By hearing. Hearing is the first process. Even in our chanting, we need to give a lot of focus on hearing the transcendental sound vibration. Through hearing, Krishna enters through our ears and resides in our heart. And as a result, we always remember, always think of Krishna and Krishna's pastime. And as a result, one is never satiated by hearing about Krishna. And thus, by remembering Krishna, one can relish greater nectar. What we understand from this sloka. Again, why Arjuna wanted to hear more about all pervading opulences of Krishna. Here we understood that Arjuna is already satisfied with the understanding of Krishna and has no doubt about Krishna's position as a supreme personality of Godhead. Sloka 10.16 to 10.18, we understand Arjuna is asking for the sake of common people, for the sake of materialistic people, atheistic people. and also for the personal absorption. Arjuna also want to know, how shall I constantly think of Krishna? He want to know more and more. And the taste of the nectar. He want to hear more and more and taste the nectar of Krishna's words. Now we are moving to the last section of this chapter, 10.19 to 10.49, in which Krishna gives various of his opulences for us to remember. Krishna described the most prominent among the limitless and all-pervading opulences. So as said, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's potencies, Krishna's opulences are limitless. His names, his opulences, and then he explains that these opulences are simply indicate a fraction of his glories. It is not complete, it is just fraction. And by that fraction, he pervades, supports the entire universe with a mere fragment of his total potency. God, it is said. So we cannot completely understand Krishna. As we learned, great sages and great demigods could not understand the complete potencies, opulences of Krishna. How can we claim that we know the potencies of Krishna? Only by the mercy of Krishna, the degree of our surrender, Krishna reciprocates. Yeah? Somebody can read this sloka meaning. Nirud Prabhu, you wish to try?
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Bhagavad Gita 10.19. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Hante Te Katyasya the Divya He Atam Vibhutyeha Pradhyanata Kuru Kshetre Nasti Anto Vishnureya Me. Translation: The blessed Lord said, "Yes, I will tell you of my splendor manifestation, but only of those which are prominent, O Arjuna, are my appearances in these limits." Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. So, as we know, the senses of the limit for individual souls are limited. So, with our senses, we can never understand the Krishna. We discussed Ada Shri Krishna Namadi Na Braved Grayam Indriya. Our material senses do not appreciate the Nama Rupa Guna Leela of Krishna. Sevan Mukena Jivvado Swayam Eva Spurati Yada. Just by engaging this tongue, the chanting of holy name and honoring the prasad, Krishna prasad, we start getting this realization. So here, as our senses are very limited, we will not be able to understand Krishna in totality. So Krishna agrees to state only the principal manifestation of his different energy. The word Pradhanyatha is very important here, which says the principal potencies. Only the principal potencies, Krishna is telling this to Arjuna, this chapter. Somebody wish to try this?
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, please.
Ahamatma Gudakesha Sarvabhutashayastitah Ahamadishcha Madhyamcha Bhutana Manta Evacha. I am the Supreme Soul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Prabhupada quotes a verse from Shubhala Upanishad in this verse. It says, Kriti Yadi Sarva Bhutaryami Sarva Sheshicha Narayana. It says the Supreme Personality of Godhead is existing as the super soul in all the material manifestation of this universe. We need to understand Krishna is residing within our heart as the Supreme Soul, Narayana. In this body, we need to rise every day when we wake up, and we put tilak in different parts of our body. We need to understand, we need to pray to Krishna. Oh Krishna, we are utilizing this body for our own sense enjoyments, to serve our own senses and Maya. Please help us to rise in our realization. Understand that you are residing in us, or within us as Supreme Paramatma. And this body is your temple. And we need to use this body in service of you as well as your devotees. We need to rise in this realization. And Krishna exhibiting all the vibhutis, all the opulences, for us to rise in our conviction and determination, surrender. So moving further, big list of Krishna's opulences discussed through the sloka 10.1 to 10.8. So Krishna says, among Adityas, Krishna is Vishnu. In purport, Prabhupada says there are 12 Adityas, among which the principal Aditya is Vishnu. And among all the luminaries shining in the sky, the light, Krishna says, I am the sun. And all the Maruts, Krishna is Marichi. There are 50 kinds of different winds blowing in the sky. The controlling deity of these winds is Marichi. Krishna says, I am the Marichi. Among stars, Krishna says, I am moon. Among Chaturveda, Krishna says, I am the Tamaveda. And Indra is the king of the spiritual planet. And Krishna says, I am Indra among the demigods. And we have various senses. And topmost is mind. Controlling mind is the biggest challenge. So Krishna says, I am the mind among senses. And among living beings, I am the living force, the consciousness. The difference between the matter and the spirit. What is the difference between the matter and the spirit? The presence of consciousness. So when we discussed chapter 2, when we discussed about the living force, we are not this body, we are the spirit soul. So we discussed that somebody who have left the body, somebody who has died, and we go there, when we talk to their relatives, it says it's left. We need to understand who left. So this we have discussed in detail. Person is lying there. Who has left? The living force, the consciousness, the soul has left. So that living force is Krishna. And among Rudras, Krishna says, I am Lord Shiva. So there are 11 Rudras. And the topmost is the Lord Shiva, is predominant. He is the incarnation of the Supreme Lord, in charge of mode of ignorance in the universe. And further, Yakshas and Rakshasas. So among Yakshas and Rakshasas, Krishna says, I am Kuvera. Among East, Krishna says, I am the Brihaspati. I am among the generals, various warriors, I am the Skanda. The bodies of water, among various bodies of water, I am the ocean. And among sages, I am Bhrigu Muni. And among the sound vibration, I am the Omkara. So we have discussed this before. Among various Vedic hymns, all the Vedas, various Vedic mantras starts from Omkara. So Krishna says, I am the Omkara. So that is what among all the Vedas what we are trying to understand is the Supreme Lord. And among sacrifices, among chanting of holy names, among sacrifices, I am the holy name. As we discussed, Krishna, the holy name is non-different. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. Krishna manifests in his holy name. That is where We need to understand the importance of the holy name and continue to, when we are chanting more, we are directly associating with the Supreme Lord. It's a direct appointment with the Supreme Lord. We should continue to put that endeavors. I see one section of devotees in this class are consistently rising in their numbers of chanting Hare Hare Harinam. At the same time, there are section of devotees who are constantly there where they are. Even in a material activities, whatever we are doing, if we continue to run at the same speed where we are, we will continue to be there where we are. It's like running on the treadmill. If you want to progress, you want to run faster. In this context, we need to continue to rise, at least reach the minimum standard of 16 rounds of chanting holy names as described by our acharyas. And among immovable things, Krishna says, I am Himalaya. Among the trees, I am the holy fig. And among the sages of the demigod, Krishna says, I am Narada. And among the singers of the demigods, I am Chitraratha. And perfected being among Siddhas, Krishna says, I am the Pilamuni. Among different animals, among the horses, Ishvarya, Ishrava, as well as among the elephants, I am Iravata. As you all know, Samudra Mantana, churning of the sea, there were two animals which came out, that is Uchchaishrava as well as Airavata. Krishna says, I am the Uchchaishrava and Airavata. So moving further, the opulences continues. Among men, and the monarch. We need to understand among men, king is the representative of Krishna as he is maintaining the kingdom. We have given the example how the soul as well as the super soul differentiate. Qualitatively, we are same. Quantitatively, we are different. So how do we understand this? So I am the owner of a parcel. That is, I am the owner of my house. This plot I own. But the entire kingdom is owned by the king, isn't it? The entire kingdom is owned by the king. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is the proprietor of the entire kingdom. So here, the king is the representative of Krishna, and Krishna says, I am the king among the men. And among the weapon, Krishna says, I am the Vajrayudha. And among cow, I am the Surabhi cow. I am among the procreator, I am the Cupid, Kandarpa. Krishna is known as Madana Mohana. So even he has attracted the Cupid. And among serpents, I am Vasuki. Among snakes, I am Nantashesha. And among aquatic deities, I am the Varuna. And among the departed ancestors, I am the Aryama. So, as we know, there are planets for Pitra Loka, ancestors, and the presiding deity in this Pitra Loka is Aryama. So, Krishna says, I am Aryama. And among the dispenser of law, I am the Yama. And among the Daitya demons, even among the demons, Krishna says, I am the Prahlada. So here Prabhupada says, there are two sisters, Diti as well as Aditi. All the sons coming out of Aditi is called the demigods or Aditi, it is demigods, and all the sons coming out of Diti is Daityas. Though Prahlada comes under demons, but we need to understand Prahlada was one of the greatest pure devotee of the Supreme Lord. And subduer. Among the subduers, I am the time. So as we know that some of the biggest sorrows in our life, when we turn back with time, it will all be nullified, isn't it? So we need to give time. Any difficult situation we are in, our mood should be, we need to understand this situation. Whatever difficult situation we are, our prayers to Krishna is why I am in this situation. No, this is not the way we need to pray to the Supreme Lord. Many of us say we do so much of bhakti, we do so much of chanting. Why this difficulty to me? No. Krishna is doing this favor, putting us in that difficult situation. Our prayer, our mood should be, we deserve worse than this. It's purely Krishna's mercy I am in this situation. Whatever the situation, it is only for my purification. Isn't it? We all have to go back, Supreme Lord. So that is our purification. Whatever limitations we have, whatever difficulties we have, it is all our purification. And Krishna says, among the beast, I am the lion. Among the birds, I am Garuda. And I am among the purifiers, I am the wind. And wielders of weapon, I am Rama. Among fishes, I am the shark. And among the flowing rivers, I am the Ganges. And among the among the creations, we discussed in Shloka as well, Krishna says, I am the beginning, I am the middle, and I am the end. All the creations, maintenance, and annihilations is done by the directions of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, he is the beginning, middle, and the end. So we discussed in our previous chapter how the entire universe is being maintained by the energies of Krishna. At the same time, Krishna is detached from all these activities. And among the sciences, the spiritual science of self, Krishna says, I am. So we have discussed about the modern science, which emphasize on bodily concept, how to give more luxuries to this body. All these innovations, if you see, is to give more comfort to the body. But unfortunately, today modern education does not give too much emphasis on the understanding of self-realization. Even Prabhupada, when he was traveling overseas, when he has gone, given talks to big universities, and they were showing different departments. One of the question Prabhupada was asking is, where is the department of self-realization? Yeah. So the biggest of universities today lacks that basic knowledge of self-realization, and that self-realization is Krishna. And among the logicians, Krishna is the conclusive truth. Among letter, the Akara, the Sanskrit, the first letter starts with Akara. Krishna says, I am the Akara. And among the compound words, the dual words, in Sanskrit it is said as Bandha Samasa. That is the combination of two words. Example Prabhupada gives is Ramakrishna. Similarly, these kind of dual words is also I am. The compound words are I am. Among the creator, I am the Brahma. So Brahma is the secondary creator, and the primary creator, including the Brahma, is the Supreme Lord Krishna. Moving further, all devouring death and the generator of all the things yet to be, that is also Krishna. So we feel death is the end, but anything further, generator of all the things that yet to be, is also Krishna. And when we look at women are known for their fame, fortune. We say the woman at home is like the Lakshmi of the house, isn't it? The fortune of that is Krishna. the speech. Women are known for their intelligence, known for their memory, and more importantly, known for their patience and faithfulness. So that also comes from Krishna. And hymns of Vedas, Brihat Samaveda. Krishna says, I am the Samaveda. And this again is a very important place to all of us, that among poetries, I am the Gayatri. So even me, before coming into Krishna consciousness, he was also chanting Gayatri mantra. We need to understand the Gayatri mantra is a regulated poetry. And only a qualified Brahmanas can recite this Gayatri mantra. Gayatri mantra should not be recited everywhere and by everybody. At least Brahminical qualification we need to have to recite Gayatri mantra. And we have discussed all those who have gone to a Brahmana. It's not Brahmana. Brahmana is known by his actions. So at least we have to take the Harinam Diksha, and then we have to go on to take Brahmanical initiation, Brahman Diksha. Only after that, we have to chant Gayatri Mantra. We need that level of purification. Yeah, we are all contaminated. So chanting Gayatri Mantra will make more harm than doing good for us at our level. That is the very reason we say and Harinam and the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It has absolutely no rules. In every condition, everywhere, we can continue to chant Harinam and continue to purify ourselves. And months among months, Margashira month, November, December. And among seasons, flower bearing, spring season is what Krishna says, I am. Among cheats, I am the gambling. So it is said, Krishna, we can't cheat Krishna, we can cheat ourselves. We can first level is cheat the world, showing that I am a great devotee. We can cheat ourselves, but we can't cheat Krishna. Krishna Bado Chatur. You can't cheat Krishna. So as we discussed the other day, one of the devotee was asking, if we have to remember Krishna, then why to chant Harinam all my life? Now I know when I leave this body, I will chant Krishna and I will go back to Godhead. Remembrance, intelligence, and forgetfulness also comes from Krishna, isn't it? So we need to and Harinam, engage in our devotional service all throughout our life. Only then we will be able to remember Krishna at the time we are living. Among splendid, I am the splendor. Among the victory and the adventure, I am among all the activities, I am the victory and adventure. I am the strength of the strong. Among the descendants of Vishnu, I am Vasudeva. Among Pandavas, I am the Arjuna. Among sages, I am Vyasa. Among the great thinkers, I am Usana. And I am among the punishment, the rod of chastisements, I am the one. And among the victory seekers, I am the morality. So whatever we need to win in any game, the morality is important. That morality is Krishna. And among the secrets, I am the silence. And among the wise, I am the wisdom. The same thing has been summarized here. So among the demigods, various demigods have been discussed, like Indra, the Vishnu, the Marichi, the Shiva, Kuvera, Agni, Kartikeya, Chitrartha, Brahma, Prahlada, Yama, Aryama, Kandarpa. Among demigods, these are all, Krishna is saying, I am all of this. And among sages, Vyasa, Narada Muni, Brihaspati, sage Kapila, Sana, Shukracharya. So all these are the representation of Krishna. About the qualities, the light, supreme, the sun, the radiance of sun, the moon, the mountain, Meru, Himalaya, the ocean, the banyan tree, wind, Ganges, all these things are Krishna. Among animals we discussed the Utteshrava, the Airavata, Surabhi, Vasuki, Ananta, Varuna, shark, lion, Garuda. All these things are the representation of the Supreme Lord. And among the law and crime, the time, the wielder of weapon, Rama, gambling, cheats, punishments, thunderbolt, death, everything is Krishna. And among the qualities, the wisdom, the silence, the morality, fortune, memory, intelligence, all these things are coming from Krishna, and these are all representation of Krishna. And finally, the Vedic mantras, the Omkara, the chanting of holy name, the Vedas, the Samaveda, all these are Krishna's. So now we are moving to last couple of slokas, 10.39 and 10.40. Somebody who have not participated till now can take up this.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Mataji.
10
Can I
points.
read, Prabhuji?
Somebody can take up.
Okay. I'm continuing then, Prabhuji.
Yes.
10.39. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences.
Krishna Mataji, there is drop, could be network issue. Somebody else want to try?
Okay. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I can continue if I think sound is coming now. Krishna.
10.39. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existence. There is no being, moving or unmoving, that can exist without me. 10.40. O mighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestation. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So here what we need to understand is everything has a cause. And the cause of all causes is Krishna. The seed of manifestation is Krishna. And without Krishna's energy, nothing can exist. Therefore, Krishna is known as omnipotent. And somebody can take this sloka. Nisha Mataji, you want to try? Yad yad vibhuti mat satvam Srimad Urjitam evava eva gaccha tam Ama tejosma sambhavam. Yeah, you can read the English translation, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Know that all beautiful, glorious, and mighty creations spring from but a peak of my splendor. Hare Krishna.
So, all the big list of opulences, though for Krishna it is a very fragment, his opulence. For us it is complete holistic. So we need to understand what is the takeaway for us from this chapter is anything glorious or beautiful existence we need to understood be the fragmental manifestation of Krishna, his opulence, whether it is in spiritual or material world. Anything extraordinary, opulent should be considered as the representation of Krishna's opulence. How many times we have appreciated when we drink the water, quenches our thirst, isn't it? The taste of water is also Krishna. So that is the realization from this chapter. We all have to rise. Anything beautiful, anything splendid, when we see, first thing which should come to us is the tendency of Krishna. When we go to ocean. When do we appreciate a glass of water? When we are thirsty, when we are in the middle of the sea. When we drink the ocean water and quench our thirst. Any realization, any response
No
to
problem.
this?
No problem.
No.
So
No.
it's very easy to say these statements, but it takes little bit of meditation on this statement to understand the potency, the opulence of Krishna. The water, when we are in the middle of water and completely thirsty, there is water everywhere, but not a drop of water to quench my thirst. So that is where Pandita Samadarshinaha, we have to see Krishna and his opulences in everything we see, everything we experience, everything we have. What difference between the great devotees and me is whatever I have, I only see the shortcomings, but realized soul will only see good things. As it said, when there is half a glass of milk, somebody sees it as half glass of milk or half empty or half full. Only a realized soul see it as full. Right? This is very, very important realization we have to take home today. And last shloka for the day. Somebody wish to try this? It's not spoken yet. Somebody who is lucky and fortunate can take it up.
$10.42 Atva Bhutaina Kim Gyatva Tvarjuna Vishtabhyayam Idam Krishnam Ekam Shena Stito Jagat. But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. Rich.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So there is no end for understanding the opulence of Krishna. There is no end, and one lifetime is not sufficient to read all the scriptures. The Supreme Lord enters each and every living entity as the super soul, as the Brahman, right from the topmost demigod, the Brahma, the smallest of ant to the atom. So that is the magnanimity, the opulence of Krishna. Krishna is known as Asamudurva, which means that no one is superior to him and that no one is equal to him. And again, there are 10 offenses to the holy names. So one of the offenses to consider demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva to be equal or independent of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. So nobody is equivalent to the Supreme Lord. Everybody are serving the Supreme Lord in different positions and capacities. And this way, one can understand without any doubt of the position of the Supreme Lord and can fix the mind in the worship of Krishna without deviation. What way? Krishna, Aham Sarvasva Prabhu. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. And that with that consciousness, we can fix our mind at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. And again, Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan, whose commentary even Prabhupada has extended in his Bhagavad Gita translation, the great Acharya, Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan, great Acharya in our disciplic succession from Krishna, he concludes this chapter by saying, from Lord Krishna energy, even the powerful sun gets the power. And by Krishna's partial expansion, the whole world is manifested. So the Krishna is the only Supreme Lord who is worshipable, and hence we all have to surrender at the lotus feet of Krishna. I wish to end this chapter by a beautiful sloka from chapter 1866. Sarva dharmam paritijya mamekam sharanam raja ham tam sarva papebhyo moksha sami masuchaha. So here Krishna is saying, leave aside all dharmas and surrender my lotus feet. And he says, Mam ekam sharanam raja. Krishna clearly says, if you want to deliver from these material entanglements, you have to surrender only to me, no other demigods. And Krishna also guarantees, Ham tam sarva papebhyo moksha sami masuchaha. I deliver you from all the sinful reactions, not only from this birth, from millions and millions of birth. And I liberate you from this material entanglement. Ma shuchaha, do not fear, do not worry. So this is the takeaway for the day. So with this, we'll come to end of this chapter. Thank you very much for patiently listening, as well as your precious time on Sunday morning. So we all have choice what we do Sunday morning. Yeah, but you chose to serve Krishna by hearing about the glories of Krishna and the opulences of Krishna. And I am sure this, knowing this knowledge, it will help all of us fix our mind and improve, rise in our conviction, determination, fix our mind, the lotus feet of Krishna. Knowing Krishna opulence is one thing. Now, how do we fix? Process is chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So I want each and every devotees here coming, knowing all the opulence of Krishna, knowing our constitutional position, knowing our purpose, knowing the process. Now, at least, previously I said, every Ekadashi you should at least rise one round and stay there, and gradually you have to reach the minimum standards. So we are completing 10 chapters. We have 8 more chapters, maybe chapter per week. So another 8 weeks. Sorry, another 8 weeks, 2 months. Most of you should reach minimum rounds of 16 rounds. It is very, very important. Right. So with this, I will end my session. Thank you very much. So any quick questions, any realizations we can discuss, any points which you can take away from today, we can discuss, and then we can end this session. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Prabhu, I have one realization. Before starting the chapters of Bhagavad Gita, I used to have a doubt how the forms of incarnation of Krishna will be there. In 10.18 to 10.40, I guess, we discussed about many forms of Krishna, who is Krishna and all, and everything. And for only one example, I used to take one quote. Whatever the scriptures we study, Krishna says, do your duty first. As well as at the end, Sarvam Sri Krishna Astu. It means that attaining to Krishna, that was my realization. Whatever scriptures we take, Vishnu Puran or Bhagavad Gita or Vishnu Sahasranama, whatever it may be, and Sarvam Sri Krishna Astu. Krishna is everything. That was understanding I got from this chapter.
Okay, thank you very much, Prabhu. Very nicely you have summarized the entire chapter. Anybody wish to add anything which you, any of your takeaways?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Like we understand the importance of the water when we are doing Nirjala Ekadashi, or because we know that how it will be the entire day, and the next day when we have a sip of water, so when we get the realization and we remember that the taste of the water is Krishna only.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice realization. So, any further, anybody want to add, or we can end our session for the day?
Prabhu, after level 2, what it will be?
Level 2, level 3. So further scriptures like nectar of devotion, nectar of instruction, Sri Shopanishad, these things will be discussed in level 3, Mataji. It
Okay.
is also beautiful scriptures. It will help us in our further realization and our conviction to progress. Very nice. It is everything of devotion. Nectar of Devotion is a very beautiful book. You all have to complete your respective quizzes and move to level 3. You will all relish your progression from there, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much. Vancha kalpatarupasya cha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.